Audio Jungle.
Hi there. Today we are here to show you how to create a group block. We will start from the beginning, of course, step by step, slow. We will do the whole exercise, and we will also enter some some items in the guest account, okay, a little bit of cashiering, and it's basically our review for the final exam. So first of all, we will start to enter the new group block. You have to go to the reservation menu and blocks here, or if you're using the keyboard, you have to use Alt R plus B. Okay, Alt R plus B for you to create a new block, business block. Okay, we don't have anything yet. We will enter a new one, or Alt N. And we will click here on the account or company. Alright, we will create a group for Reservations College, is a company, so we will add the company here. Once you click on the dots, you have two windows. The first one for the company, the second one for the contact. We will start from the left side and create a new company. You just have to enter the name. I would suggest you to put your ID, okay, but for this test I'm not gonna do. So Reservations College, this is the company name. Then we will enter the first contact. We have two. We have Miss Nancy Davis, which we will enter right now. Actually, Davis as the last Daniels, pardon me, is the last name, and first name Nancy. We don't need to put anything else for this exercise. Then we will enter the communication. The first one is a business phone number. You have to type 41 24 482 8282, and then we enter the fax number, which is the second contact. It's also 41 24 482 8899. Then we need to put the address. Business address is already selected here. We just have to type directly the address of the company. Route Cantonal, number 51. The postal code is 1897. The city is Lejouvreux. Country is Switzerland. But just to recall, to review, if you want to search for a country, you can click on the drop down menu, or you can use F9, and then you can search here on define, but make sure that you put the cursor right after following the percentage sign, and then you can type the initials of the country that you're looking for, and you use find, and there we go, Switzerland is there. Alright, so that is the first step. We have company name, contact, the communication type, and the address. One of the most important things here for you to not get confused is to use select. So instead of OK, you click here and select. There we go. Then Opera takes you back to the first screen, but you need to add a second contact, and you have to click here on the contact that has been added already. So you confirm that Nancy Davis is already there, and you need to add a second contact. If you do this procedure, you can see already that the company and the first contact is already selected. So now we need to go from the right side and click to enter a new contact. In this situation we just have to put name and first name, okay? David Miller. We already created a company profile, which is okay. So to make easier for you here, again you use select, and there we go. You see that both contacts have been already added successfully. So now you can put OK, and it will turn yellow because you have two contacts for the same company, which is fine. Now next step is to create the group. The group name in this exercise is Adelaide Meeting. So we click there on the three dots and you enter a new one. Adelaide Meeting as a group name. No other information is required right now. We will just type the group name and put OK. So the group name has been added here. You already have the necessary on this first step, so we can go to the second step, which is also enter the PM name. That basically would be the same, the group and the name. Okay, Adelaide Meeting. Starting date, let's enter as of today for 4 nights. Automatically Opera would count here the number of nights. On the status of the group, we will add tentative. Okay, in a real life tentative, the company has confirmed that they want to do the meeting or the conference, but they haven't paid yet. They haven't sent the confirmation. But we put tentative. Market we will be always group, GRO. And the source you have to follow in the exercise. In this exercise, let me just have a look. Source, it's FX. And the origin we don't have, which is not necessary. You can use tab or just click here on the block code. Opera will enter automatically the block code. So you don't need to change that. The rate code for this group specifically will be BJ or B group, business group. And we need to add now the details, the payment. We will put as a method of payment Diners Club, as we are following the exercise. Okay. You go back to the rooms, so make sure you enter the details. We will also actually enter here the reservation method. We will put roomie list. Okay, so 2 things you have to put in this details part. You need to put the payment type and the reservation method. And then you can go back to the rooms tab here. We will select as an elastic group, a flexible group. We don't have cutoff date, but if there is any specification in your exam, you just have to enter or the days or the dates here. Okay, depends of the situation, of course. Number of packs per room. As we have the roomie list, we don't need to put it now. Okay, what we will do, we will leave it in blank here. We will save, because we need to get to the grid. We need to select the rooms, okay, the number of rooms we need. So we save, making sure that the tentative is selected here in the status. So save, and then your grid will be available for you. Okay, so you click in grid and we will enter the rooms we need. In this exam we need 3 junior suites, 3 suites and 3 BDBs. We will enter as is even numbers. What we will do, we go to range, we will select the number of the rooms, the room types that we need. It's junior suite and BDBs, and we need 3 each. So in this case, as is even, the amount of rooms is 3, so we can put 3. It's all the same number of rooms for for all the categories. Okay, there we go. So all the rooms have been added to your grid. You can close that now. Perfect. Now you have the grid, and you have here a table that will tell you the amount of room nights that you have blocked and the amount of rooms that you have available, because you haven't booked yet. You just made the block, but you didn't do reservation yet. But from here we are okay now. You make sure that you have all the information, the 2 contacts, the company, the name, group ID, everything that you must, and then you can go ahead and create the PM, the postmaster account. But for that we need to click on reservation. But remember, we cannot, so we need basically to come back here to the status, and now we should change to definitive. So if you change the status to definitive and you save, and there we go, the reservation field is already available for you. And by clicking on it, Opera will ask if you would like to create the postmaster account, which you just have to put yes. There we go, and it takes us to the reservation, to the PM reservation. And here down you have the grid. Okay, the 3 BDBs, 3 junior suites and 3 suites, and for 4 nights. But now we need to enter the rooming list. So how can we do that? We always have selected here the PM, and then you go to your group options. In your group options, if you click, and then you have this window with the options, you just have to use the first one, rooming list. Okay, there we go. As I showed you in class before, we have 2 ways to do. I'm not gonna use quick split. Okay, I prefer to manually enter the names now. And as per the rooming list, the first name is Miss Lombe Moira, and the title, she is a miss. Okay, and she is actually staying on the junior suite, so we're gonna manually here pick the junior suite for her. Okay, so I put the name, the title, and I changed from the grid here. I clicked and I picked a junior suite for her, and I enter selected. As soon as I click on the second line, Opera would already start to fill the name of the guest with Adelaide meeting, but we can just change to enter the second one, which is Mr. Johnny. But he is not staying in the BDB, he is staying also in a junior suite, so you can change that and put junior suite. Click on the third line, we will enter Miss Brenda Muruji. She is also a miss. You change the title and again for the room type, because she's also taking a junior suite. She's taking a junior suite, so we still have, right, so we enter the 3 guests here for the junior suite. What I will do, I will just save, and I will get the confirmation number for the 3 guests, so they are saved already. Right, so now we will continue with the BDB rooms, and the first person we are gonna enter is Miss Naumova Victoria. She's a miss and she's staying the BDB. In this case we don't need to change. We can just go to the next line and enter Mr. Charles Nihal. Change the title. No need to change, he's in the BDB. Click on the next one and you're gonna enter Miss O. G. Ian, and she is a miss. No need to change the type, so we already selected the 3 BDBs guests. I will save. You can save anytime you want. If you want to do it one by one and save, up to you. Also works. There we go. Now we have these reservations confirmed for those guests, and we will click to enter our suite rooms. First guest is Mr. and Mrs. Dopire. But he's staying with the wife, so we will put Mr. and Mrs. on the status, but on the number of adults we will enter 2. Specifically in this situation, I'm not using the share option. I'm just entering the name of Mr. Topire, putting Mr. and Mrs. on title, and number of adults 2. I can save that. Then I can do the next, which is Brad Pitt. But in this case, it's the same, actually the same thing, Mr. and Mrs., because we don't have the name of the wife, but we know that there's 2 people in the room, so we keep 2, the number of adults. And on the third guest, Mr. Lacombe, now we will use the share option, okay? So we enter the name of Mr. Lacombe, we enter as a Mr. only. We can leave 2 adults, it's completely fine, because it will be 2 anyway, but we will enter the share option in this case. So you enter the guest and use the option share. Make sure that the right guest is selected and the right room type. By using the share, I can save the changes, it's okay. I will do again. Share, and on the share screen here you can use the option combine, and we can copy the payment details. Our reservation type will be the same, block definitive. We will enter Miss Morris here. It's a new profile, so you cannot type here. You could, but it's easier if you just click on the drop down menu and enter the new guest, Miss Morris, and only the name and last name. It's completely fine. You can put OK. The only thing here, as we already put it 2 people for Mr. Lacombe, we will remove here and put 0 adults and hit OK. There we go. So Mr. Lacombe and Miss Morris, they are in the same room, but we used the share option. Now we will just hit OK. There we go. And once you do a share, you see the star that appears showing that they are sharing with each other. You can see down here also the name of the person that you share. So basically that's it. I will save. Actually it's saved. You have the confirmation number, but your roomie list is done. Okay, this is our roomie list. So we will close that and we will close it again, and there we go. Okay, your roomie list is here. If you make any mistakes, there are several different ways to change. If you want to change a specific guest, Johnny Monge here, if you want to access the reservation, you can just double click. You could change payment details, you could change many things, right? Or if you want to go back to the roomie list, the only thing that you have to consider is to always go back and select the PM. And then by selecting the PM, you can go again to group options, roomie list, but then it's going to be in blank because you already used the rooms. But don't forget, you already created. So you go here on the corner and click in all, and then you can see all the guests. For example, here I forgot to put the status for the title for Miss Annie Morris, and I can enter, save, and close, and your roomie list is ready. Alright, so what we did, we created a block, we created the PM, and we entered the roomie list. So we will continue on the next video, and we will do the route instructions, we will assign the rooms, and we will also do the cashier options. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope this video is useful for you. Take care.